Hello everybody. Here we are, part 3 of Star Trek. As last episode we had our space battle and fought the Borg, and continuing with our part 3 where we came back to Earth space dock. Pretty much ends the tutorial and goes right into the story mode. And so all you gotta do, you take your character and you just let it all load up. It's telling you to go to the Admiral. We'll let it all load up first. We'll let it all load up. Turn the volume down a little bit so it don't interfere. Of course, this is where you're going to find a lot of people playing, and you can meet a lot of friends playing that want to join you and help you, and that's quite all right. It's good to get other people, but be careful grabbing friends with higher rank. Don't let them play, because say you're level 3 and you get a level 50 or 60 in, all the enemies will have a level 50. Yes, it'll give you great XP, but it'll also give you great destruction. Now they're asking me to go see the Admiral, which is fine and dandy. That's part of the thing you want to do, is go to your Admiral. And you know, right there he is. And you go in here and here we go. We're going to talk to the Admiral.
We have a lot to discuss, Cadet. Yes, I see that here in the report transmitted by Captain Nog. He granted you a field promotion to give you seniority over the rest of the active crew of your ship. As a cadet, you were assigned to an Academy training cruise under Captain Mask Taggart, correct? Acting First Officer? I've read the reports. Facing off against Klingon raiders and a Borg invasion force within hours of leaving Starfleet Academy? Very unusual. In your own words, tell me what happened up. That's quite the story. Don't worry. I have statements here from Captains Nog and Yim at Administrator Post from Vega Colony corroborating your story. All 3 of them cite your bravery and command skills, as well as you and your crew's willingness to put yourselves in harm's way to preserve the lives of others. And you're exactly the kind of officer Starfleet needs. I know your ship might not be the Enterprise, but I think you've proven yourself capable of sitting in her captain's chair. Under normal circumstances, it would take you years of work to get your own command. But these are not normal circumstances. We're at war with the Klingon Empire. The Borg have returned. I'm losing more trained officers and ships than I can spare. Ships we can build, but leaders with courage and honor, those are harder to find. It's time to try something different. I need someone who can handle themselves in a crisis and get the best out of their crew. Even though you're young, I think you're that person. Chip, don't disappoint me. You will be assigned to the Klingon front, but first, you could use some new equipment for your ship. I have some improved consoles developed by the Starfleet Corps of Engineers. These consoles can be installed on your ship to improve its abilities. As you improve in rank, you will earn better consoles. Other ships you will command throughout your career will have space for many more. When you're done here, go see Dur's racks to customize your starship's appearance.
Commander, accept all these.
Greetings. How can I assist you today? Or in the future?
So we can go question all these people. That just tells you all about the stuff. So here's where you go to your missions. You can go there. You don't have to do that one yet. You can clear that one. The best thing is go to your Klingon War and go to diplomatic
mission.
So make sure you be careful of what you do, because you can make a wrong choice. So we got to go to Romulan, locate the ambassador, Sokath. So you can just beam right up to your... You could go down to Starfleet Command, but that's not important at this time. So you want to beam right up to your starship. Don't worry about it. You remember I bought all the weapons previously, so as I level up, I can put my shields and weapons on as I go. So remember, we already discussed that in episode part 2. So if you got another account and you want to replay, and this is the way to do it, that way you can make things a little more easier with better weaponry. So we're heading to Vulcan, obviously. So I hope everybody's doing well and enjoying the stay home order. And I have reservations about all this, but I'm not going to discuss it here. First it was collusion, Russia collusion. Then it was impeachment. Now what is it? Take a good look. You think these people take a break? No, it's a global initiative. So I'm just saying, I think the thing is real and been put on us by certain individuals to force vaccinations and control. So that's just my feeling about it. I do think the thing is real. Disease is real. I remember back in '85, the malaria struck out in Brazil. Now, or 2010, or 2010. Remember that? 2012. The dreaded, the World Health Organization swooped in and they said, we got a cure, nanites. And all the women that took this developed, guess what? Their babies developed a Zika virus. Hear me? Hear me? Hear what I'm saying? I'm giving you pearls here, my friends. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. And these people really reveal their true color. You know, it's just amazing how people are so gullible. And, you know, you don't want to trust nothing from this world.
My friend sacrificed so much to secure peace with the King. I bear the responsibility for the consequences to him and his crew. The thought that troubles
so much fake stuff going on.
The hope was that this
fake news are all from people claiming that, you know, it's not real. I believe it's real. Don't get me wrong, I believe it's real. But it's been implanted like AIDS and everything else. AIDS was man-made. It came from Africa. Who's there? World Health Organization there on the east coast of Africa. It started in carrier monkeys, so they claim. You know, everybody wants to trust this vaccination and stuff. That's his health progressed worse. That's just me saying. I'm just saying. You know, I noticed he didn't get any better. And he still got sick, so, and I haven't took a flu shot, and I had to take a flu shot when I had my open heart surgery. Of course, on with the game. We can talk all about that, debate all that all we want, and it ain't gonna solve nothing. Best thing to do, you gotta obey the powers that be. I find it interesting that, you know, no one's talking about all the healthy people recovering. I find that interesting. And I did hear some scary stories about people being placed in that place, like people that had ailments, and there was no evidence that they had it, but yet they were placed in the death row of that. So that's all I'll say about that. We'll get on to the game. The game's more important. So the game's about as fantasy as what's going on. Control. Do you remember Bill Maher and all these people talking about wrecking the country and destroying the economy just to get rid of him? I rest my case. Anyhow, we're entering Vulcan here, and this should be interesting. It's about power and control. Always has been, always will be. Who owns all the Treasury, U.S. Treasury? The Rothschilds, the Jesuits. They want to own everything. That's why they included small loans to destroy our institution, own everything. That way they can force their will on people. It's all part of the plan. No worries. Do whatever you got to do there, little friends. Your days are coming.
Greetings. Thank you for agreeing to escort me. I believe that so...
So we got to board the shuttle. So we got to board the shuttle, go down to Vulcan. And that's a pretty cool thing that they put up here on Star Trek, this One Night in Bozeman. So that's really cool. That's the first contact thing. I haven't tried the TFO, but the first One Night in Bozeman is really cool. I think it's really cool to watch, play that out. It's really cool. You go to where first contact is, where the Vulcans met with supposedly all these people, and when they developed warp capabilities. So I think that's pretty cool. The beginning of Starfleet. So, and of course the Borg played a big temporal thing there to try to destroy them. But if you watch Star Trek, the Next Generation movies, you'll see that, called First Contact. Pretty cool. I like Star Trek, but it's being ruined, I think, by CBS now, and the lackeys there don't have no direction. Picard was an absolute shitting failure. And excuse my English, it was a total goofy thing. And Discovery is goofy as hell. If you want to watch it, it's okay. I mean, you can watch it. It's cool to watch, but it don't fit anything. It don't fit anything with the old series.
This is Vulcan Orbital Control.
That's my philosophy on Star Trek. I think they ought to sell it to NBC and sell it to Seth MacFarlane. He knows how to make shows more than them boneheads, the elites that run at CBS. So we gotta go up here and find this guy. You can jump by hitting X. You can run. If you tap down on L3 and you let off it, you can just keep running. Now you can replay these missions a couple times and you can get a little more level playing. This is Vulcan, of course, and we got to go up here and find the... So here's the people. Talk to Ada Pieta. Welcome to Vulcan. You can stop these and read these if you want. We're just going to go right through them. So then you go over here and talk to the High Priest. And he'll take this.
Peace and long life. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Sarketh accuses me of abandoning logic. Do you seek knowledge of the that should never have happened? Buildings that had stood for do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Even a people who reject emotion require peace and contemplation.
So you can read all this stuff. So you read all them if you want.
Seek knowledge of the ancestors. Centuries ago, the Vulcans.
You can pause these if you wish to read them.
Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors?
Don't you trust
I neither trust him nor distrust the ambassador. Sarketh has spent more and more time away from Vulcan. And do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? Sarketh has spent more and more time away from Vulcan in recent. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestors? The monks do not use any unnecessary technology. Do you seek knowledge of the ancestor? I will permit it if you will pledge to me, on your honor as a Starfleet officer, that you...
Welcome to Vulcan. Do you have any questions? How should I know? He is a small man with small concerns.
You hear his emotion? That don't sound much like a Vulcan, does it? It doesn't sound much like a Vulcan, does it? Okay, so he said he's goodbye. So now we gotta take him to the ship, or shuttle. Now you can find some interesting collectibles here, so you can go down there and unlock anomalies, which is resources, if you wanted to. But for time's sake, we're not going to do that. We're going to try to get this part of the mission done. We're going to deliver and put Jim to the gym. And of course, he's going very slowly. So now we're heading to the gym.
We have logged your flight trajectory, and you are cleared for departure. Live long and prosper.
Please believe me, everybody ought to have their own views on things, and that's quite all right. It's perfectly fine to have your own views on things, your own political beliefs, religious beliefs, even though it may not be truth. But a lot of people believe what they want to believe. I can give you one good one. A lot of people. City park system. A lot of people believe in eternal torment and hellfire, which is not really biblical. I've studied theology for 12 years, and I've got diplomas on Bible prophecy and understanding, and 2 diplomas really from prophecy seminars. Over 50-part course, big courses on Bible prophecy and everything about the Bible. And I cannot see nothing where the Bible says people are going to be destroyed and burning for eternity. It does not. The Bible does never teach us this. Never teaches that. But the whole world says, yep, that's it. That's it. God will destroy sinners forever and torment them and alienating people. So begin diplomatic orders. So I just find it unusual that people over-exaggerate things. Like this Left Behind book that tells people one will be taken one. Well, this is actually from the 1800s. A Jesuit priest came up with it. Francisco something came up with it, and Mary something, a Protestant woman here in America, both had the same vision that God told them that they would be whisked away out of the trouble before the time of trouble happened, when the Bible has never said that. If you read from Genesis to Revelation, God's people has always been here upon the earth. Where were God's people when the plagues fell upon the earth on the Egyptians? Canaan. The first 3 plagues affected everybody, and the last 7 plagues affected everyone. Or the Egyptians, not. I'm sorry, the first 3 plagues affected everyone, but they were minor. And the 7 plagues affected only the wicked, the Egyptians. Never even touched Goshen. Even when it was darkness on the land, it did not affect Goshen, where the Hebrew people were. So if you read through the language of the Bible, during times of trouble, God's people has always been amongst the people, but protected by things. When Greece marched across the nation, they came upon Israel, and because they talked about Greece being in the Bible prophecy, Alexander gave them a decree that they're under the protection of Alexander. Alexander was so impressed that he put Israel, the nation of Israel, under protection. Interestingly, I find that remarkable. Here's a man on conquest, and yet because these men came out, these priests came out with scrolls and said, hey, you know what? Daniel talks about you in the Greece brazen army, the 3rd world country that would overthrow Medo Persia, and he was amazed by that. So he put a peace banner on them to protect them from everyone. So I find it interesting that, anytime this has happened, you can go all the way back through Bible history and see all this, and see that God's people will always be present in a time of trouble. But that's a big misunderstanding by a lot of Protestants and a lot of people in the religious world, and they misuse what they read because there's nothing in there to declare it. Like if you have a container that says this is in it, part A is in it, B and C is in it. Well, there's some people that go, well, part F's here, part D and E and G, and they'll make up stuff. People seem to get confused, is all I'll say. I don't know why people get so mixed up. I guess that's the way of human life, is to exaggerate things and to fanaticize. A lot of people are fanatics.
This is Captain Contact to all Klingon vessels.
And he's a weirdo.
Target their warp drive. There will be no escaping our vengeance this
He sounds like a dictator. He sounds like the World Health Organization. Maybe that's who he is. Maybe he's the leader of the World Health Organization. Do you trust these clowns? I don't trust none of them. They're clowns. Bill Gates and all them are clowns, period. I don't trust them, my friend. If you trust government officials, you're not very smart. I wouldn't trust. But you got to look at the evidence on everything. And if you want to go somewhere, go see what the presidents have said about certain influences of societies of Lyota. Now, if you don't know what that is, I suggest you look it up before you go making a judgment. And if your intelligence precedes you, look all this Lyota. They run the Treasury. They run the Rothschilds. They run the U.S. Treasury. They run everything. This is the truth, my friends. So now we got to go on a stupid. Now we got to consult the bridge officer. So discuss.
Patience is then the beast is slipped.
Captain, I take my meditations very seriously.
Alive? You want?
There's no need, Captain.
That guy don't act like a Vulcan, does he? He knows he lacks the.
You have a crippled.
He's got a lot of emotion for the Vulcan.
Who's Captain potentially, but only
a true,
a wise precaution. A wise precaution. Though I admit.
So we're going to beam down. So, you know, people can believe what they want to, and they can dislike the video and say I'm an idiot. But I have had 10 years of theology in ancient Hebrews and comparing text upon text and text, and there's no left behind scenario. It's a fantasy. Fantasy Island, the plane. God's going to come in. The ones taken away are actually the ones taken in the flood and destroyed. Remember this. If you compare it to Noah's time, the same language is the ones taken away are the ones taken away by the water and destroyed. It's interesting how people just misrepresent stuff. What they're reading. They read, but they do not see. They're blinded by their own, call it what you will, ignorance. I mean, they'll really open up. That's the thing about having all this weaponry. Okay, we kill them. And as you can see, you're really overpowered when you got all these guys with all these weapons on you. You're really overpowering. Which is alright. They can handle it. What the heck was they doing firing out there? They probably killed one out there. Good Jim. And you can get these. I mean, it won't hurt nothing to get this stuff. You might as well get it. You're going to need it. So I will say this. Somewhere in the video I will need to take a bathroom break. It's working. Huh? So they asked you to go to the monastery because that's where all the things are at. Now as you see, there's many items around. Like if you hit left on a D-pad, it'll come up with a scanning device and you scan uranium. So you can unlock this and then you just simply move your thing there and boom, you got it. You'll get several. Don't be quick to go up to the top of the steps to where the green, see where the green locator is. And I guess you can see that if I zoomed in a little bit, and you can see it in the map right here, see. And you can put a waypoint on that. But the best thing to do is kind of avoid that for now. There's another one way over here. I mean, you can avoid it if you can avoid it. You're good, but it's right over there. You can always see these anomalies. See, and of course, you just move down and match it. All right, now let's go take this creep on. I don't think there's one more, but I think it was down there where we missed it. But you don't have to worry about it. Let's go up here, and of course, look what happened. This part here is mainly about Klingons.
I have terrible news.
Of course, you can read it, pause it, and stop it. And of course, guess what? There he is.
Such emotion on your face. I see now my deception has been exposed. Pity. Capturing the abbot so we could replace him as well would have been beneficial. But we are strong. We will prevail. You are weak, and the weak shall perish.
That's pretty much globalist talking there. Hey, looking critter, ain't it? Huh. So see what's a good beam up, okay? So with good weapons you can defeat pretty quick. So that's where we're going to stop for now. And well, give me one. Yeah, we're going to stop right there. I think it'll be good to stop right there. We don't want to keep the stream too long. Part 4 will continue on with this Vajim system. So thanks for watching, everybody. Peace be out. Keep clean, stay safe. Be kind to one another. And we'll just stop right here. Thanks for watching, everybody.